Hey, Shavua Tov, everyone, and regards from the old city of Jerusalem. I'm here at my parents' house for just under a week and a half, and I'm really excited to be here. It's just an amazing place to be, not even doing anything, just being here. I'd like to share with you a few artifacts from our home museum, things that we've dug up in our basement, and of course have been declared to the Israel Antiquities Authorities. So some things we couldn't keep, probably the best stuff, but we got to keep some of the stuff. And I grew up with this stuff in the 90s, show and tell, bringing them to school. I probably lost a few Roman coins on the way. Don't tell anyone. But I'm going to share with you a few of these things. So let's just switch the camera, and if I can do that, let's see. Nope, I don't know how to do it, so I'm going to do it this way. So artifact number one is Roman glass. Here's some different things I'm going to show you. Roman glass, typical Roman glass with the kind of shiny, rainbowy texture, which is, growing up, I've always been able to say, oh, look, Roman glass, because this is kind of what I've always seen. Some kind of tripod dish. I'm not really sure how big this was, what it would support, what it would be for, but leave that to your imagination. And here's the next one. This is a base of some kind of clay pot or something. I'm not exactly sure what it was used for, what period it's from, but we have things that are from several different levels, layers, several different periods. So it's a bit of a mishkabobble, but let's take a look at the coins. So first of all, these coins are from Muslim period. You see clearly, you see Arabic writing on them. Is the focus going to work? Try that. A little bit difficult to see, I'm afraid, but I'm going to post close-ups of these coins below in the comments, so you'll be able to see them. Let's see what you can see in this one. Yes, if you can see it, it's very gratifying. I'm going to try. Can you see that there is a Magen David? There is a Star of David on it. Yeah, there you go. Now you can see it very clearly. There's a nice little symbol. You can see that little image, kind of like the one on the shekel. Right, so we'll get to that. There's another one here. Now, the most exciting piece to me is this combination of first and second temple. So this candle, this oil lamp, which you see it's just a tiny piece of clay that's pinched. Here's where the wick would go, and the oil would go in here, and this would be lit. This is called a ner, a candle. And Zohar Amar famously has a book called Bameh Madlikin, which is probably somewhere in this big shelf over here, but good luck finding it now. You can find it later and reference it, which is all about ancient oil lamps from Israel and things you can learn about them, their properties, how much oil they would hold, and how long would that lamp typically last for. And then when you learn the Mishnah, Bameh Madlikin, and you wonder how long would people have light in the house for their Shabbat meals, and can you extend it by adding a contraption of having something dripping more oil into it as a filler, etc. All those things are fascinating things you study, and once you know this. But what's inside it is also more fascinating. What's inside it are ashes. And these ashes are from a later layer, and from the layer of the destruction of Jerusalem by the Romans during the Great Revolt, which ended in the destruction of Jerusalem and the burning of the temple, the second temple. And these ashes were found throughout the old city on that layer. Famously, there's the site called the Burnt House, Habayit HaSaruf, which is blocked down, and it has the famous name is Beit Katros, the House of Katros, which is notably a family of Kohanim, and the name was found in the house, so it's attributed to that wealthy Kohanic family, which was also burnt. You can go visit in the old city, lots of videos, and these ashes are used, of course, only close family and friends do not call and ask, because it gets really on my mother's nerves, but come and ask. We use there's a custom under the wedding and the chuppah that the groom, in the place of the tefillin, puts a little bit of ashes to remember the destruction of Jerusalem, so we use ashes from these. Now, where did we find all of these? We found them underneath our house during the excavations. Well, we were doing some expansions down there in terms of construction, but this book is about the excavations post 1967, when the place was in ruin after the 6 Day Wars, and that was an opportunity to dig down before making foundations for building new buildings and etc. So this, try to get an angle here because I can't flip the camera live, which is really annoying. What you're looking at is, let's get that angle. This is the wall of Chizkiyahu when he expanded the city westward, fortified the westward expansion of the old city, which was what is the modern day old city, because of the pending invasion by Sennacherib in the year 71 BCE, so 2,700 years ago. And he built it quite haphazardly, and one of the ways it was identified is also by the house from the outside of the city, which has been run over and built on top of, because he was building so quickly in preparation for the invasion that he went through people's houses. So once this wall was established, this would be outside the city, this would be inside the city. And this area that I'm pointing to is where our house has been built, post 67. And we found the things in our basement, which is down on this level. So starting from First Temple period and then going further and further and further up, that's why we have several different layers that we found when we were expanding our basement. Now, another thing I'm going to show you that we found are jug handles. Now, jug handles very often are found intact in a state, which is quite better than the rest of the jigsaw shards of the pots and jugs because of the thickness of it. And as a piece of a jug, now these ones, of course, we were able to keep in First Temple period, but some that were found, and of course many of which are in the Israel Museum, I'm going to show you some from the catalog. Here are First Temple period administrative signatures of various types. Some of them have this kind of double ring inside them, and some of them have an Egyptian scarab beetle on top of them, which was at the time, it can also be a mark of the alliance that King Chizkiyahu had with Egypt in part of his rebellion against Sennacherib, but it can also be a symbol that was very popular at the time and wasn't exactly associated with the idolatry. But you see many of them. These have been found by the hundreds. And they say on them things like Lamelech Hebron. This one says Lamelech Mamshat, which is an unidentified city in Yehuda, and various different ones. Lamelech Mamshat, Lamelech Mamshat, well, a lot of those. Some of them are a little bit harder to read. Lamelech Hebron. And this is a sign. Oh, that's a really, really, really cool one. That says Shevna. Lenera, probably like Neriyahu. There's been one found in Ramat Rachel that says Leneriyahu, men Shevna. Shevna was a name we know, for example, of Shevna HaSofer from the time of Yirmiyahu. So, Lenera Shevna. Really cool. Really, really cool. So these were found, again, underneath our house, and this is just a little bit of our tiny museum. And of course, there's more, but stay tuned for more during my trip. I hope to do a little bit more. Meanwhile, stay safe, stay warm wherever you are, and regards from Yerushalayim.